Afternoon children, and welcome back to biology class. Today we'll be doing about another phylum, Hemichordata. You know children, this animal kingdom is divided into two groups which is the invertebrate or non-chordate and the chordates, based on the presence or absence of Notochord. You know that. Okay. Now these group of organisms, the Hemichordata, were first considered as or studied under the chordates. Okay. But as they do not have this notochord, they don't possess the notochord, they are not classified under chordates. Clear? Now they cannot be classified under invertebrates, non-chordates also, because they possess almost all the other characters of chordates. Understood? They have a higher level of organization. They have all systems in their bodies. Okay, right. So these are actually worm-like organisms. You can see these examples here. You can see all these figures. They are all worm-like organisms. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They possess organ system level of organization. They are triploblastic and are coelomate animals. Okay. They are completely marine, exclusively marine, that is living only in the oceans and seas. Okay, and they have a complete digestive system, which means they have a mouth and anal opening starting from mouth to anus, and their respiratory system is through gills. They respire using gills. Circulatory system is of open type, and the reproduction is by sexual method, which is they have both male and female, separate male and female, and they show external fertilization. First, fertilization happens external in the water medium, and the development is indirect, having a larval stage in between. Okay, and these organisms, as I told, they are worm-like cylindrical organisms. They have a cylindrical body, and the body is segmented, having a head-like region called as proboscis, and a small collar and a trunk. The trunk extends into a tail-like region. Okay, and the excretion is by a gland called as proboscis gland, present at the proboscis region. Okay, so the body is differentiated into these three regions. Which are they? They are the proboscis, collar, a small collar, and a long trunk. Okay. These are all the characters of the general characters about this group. You can have a glance of this one. Okay. See, all of them are, this is the proboscis. So that animal kingdom is divided into two branches, which are non-chordates and chordates, right? The non-chordates can be called as invertebrates also. So what are chordates, children? These organisms possess a definite notochord. Okay, in some organisms in chordate group, they may become, this notochord may transform itself into a complete skeletal system itself. Clear? Now these are the general characters of chordates. Okay, in all animals belonging to chordate group possess these characters at any of their stages of life. Okay, now they include animals with notochord, dorsal tubular nerve cord, which is the primitive of the nervous system, and a pharyngeal gill slits. What are the three features? Notochord, nerve cord, and pharyngeal gill slits. Okay, right. And also they have a post-anal tail. They have a post-anal tail also they have. Okay, now what is a notochord, children? Notochord is a flexible rod located in the mid dorsal line between the alimentary canal and nerve cord in the embryo. And what is this notochord, children? I already told you in the last class. Notochord is a rod-like structure where the muscles get attached to this notochord and helps in movement. Okay, so these are the general characters. Okay, notochord, nerve cord, gill slits, anal tail, etc. Right. Now, what is the difference between chordate and non-chordates? They are, that is, chordates have notochord present in the embryonic stage and it will become into the skeletal system later. And non-chordates, the notochord is absent. Okay, and central nervous system is the dorsal, hollow and single. Dorsal nervous system is dorsal, which is dorsal side of the organism, right? And here in non-chordates, they are ventral and they are double. In cockroach and all, you have seen the nervous system, they have ganglion, the double nervous system. Okay, right. And pharyngeal gill slits, the chordates have pharynx or pharyngeal gill slits. It is also absent in non-chordates. They have a ventral heart. The heart is present in the dorsal side. And post-anal tail is present in chordates and it is absent. I told you itself, post-anal tail is one of the chordate characters. Okay, and it is absent here in non-chordates. Right? And this chordata, the chordates, is divided into the subphylums, which are Urochordata or Tunicata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. What are they, children? Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertebrata. Clear? So as I told you, the vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic stage and this is replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in adult. In the embryonic stage, it will be seen as notochord, and when it becomes adult, it will be becoming into the vertebral column, right? And the heart is ventral, and all the other systems are very well developed in the case of vertebrates. Clear? Now, how the vertebrates are subdivided? The vertebrates. Who are the vertebrates, children, around you, including man, human beings, cow, goat, fishes, the frogs, snakes, all these belong to the vertebrates. Right. Now, the vertebrates are again subdivided into two, which is having jawless vertebrates and jawed vertebrates. Who are they? Children, jawless vertebrates or agnathostomata. Stomata means, opening. It's an opening in the plant. Okay, right. So it is agnathostomata and gnathostomata, which is jawless animals and jawed animals. Jawed animals, right? And agnathostomata, there is only one class of organisms. Very few examples are seen in this group. Okay, they are fish-like forms, and that class of organisms is called as Cyclostomata. Cyclo means round. Cyclo means round. Stomata means opening, a round opening or something like that. Okay, now the gnathostomata, jawed, having jaws. Jaws means the mouth opening, having two upper jaw and lower jaw. Okay, they are again divided into two super classes, which is the finned, finned animals, and the tetrapods. Tetra means four. Pods means leg, four legs. We also have four limbs. Yes or no? Yes, but we use only two legs or two limbs for walking, and the other two we use as hands for doing various purposes. Right? Okay. So what are the two superclasses? Jawed. They are the finned, Finned. Finned means who has the fins? The fishes, right? And all the other groups have two pairs of legs. Two pairs of legs, right? Okay. Now, again, the fishes are of two types. They are, that is, they have the skeletal system. Of course, they have the skeletal system. But in some fishes, the skeleton is made up of cartilage. Whereas others, they have both cartilage and bones in them, the skeleton, right? So the cartilaginous fishes are called as chondrichthyes. Ichthyes means fishes. Chondrocytes means cartilage. Okay, but chondrichthyes. And the other one is osteichthyes. Osteo means bones. Right? Ichthyes means fishes. Bony fishes. Cartilaginous fishes and bony fishes. Okay? Chondrichthyes and osteichthyes. Clear? And then coming to the tetrapods, which bears the limbs. Who are the categories? Who are the organisms? The frogs, that's the amphibians. Then comes the reptiles, then the aves, and the mammals. Clear? Coming to the cyclostomata. Cyclo means round, stomata means opening. So these are also fish-like organisms, children. They're fish-like organisms and they are completely marine. They have streamlined bodies like the fishes. Okay, but they do not have scales. You know what are scales? The fish's body is covered by scales, right? So here, though they have fish-like form, their body is devoid of scales and also paired fins. What are these paired fins? All fishes have a pair of pectoral fins, pair of pelvic fins, pair of anal fins, pair of tail fins. All are paired fins, right? So they have fins. The cyclostomatas have fins, but it is not paired fins, that's all. Okay. And all the examples, very few organisms are present in this group. Okay. And all of them are ectoparasites. What are ectoparasites? They live on the outside of the body, on some other big fishes of the oceans and seas. Okay, they don't have mouth, they don't have jaws. So what do they have instead of that? They have a rounded aperture on the ventral surface, which are circular, which are hook-like structures for holding on to this other fishes. See, like this. Okay. Now these animals are called as filter feeders. Filter feeders because when the other fishes feed on the other animals and lower fishes and all, and their leftovers will be there. No, that they will be feeding. That these organisms will be feeding. That is why they are called as filter feeders. Okay, and one more difference is that is they have 6 to 15 pairs of gills at the sides. See, gills at the sides, but it is not covered by operculum. Not covered by operculum. You know what is operculum? The fishes have this is operculum. Okay, you just lift it open to see the gills. No, the fishes, whether it is fresh or not, that is the operculum, the covering. So they don't have the covering. Okay, and the skeleton is completely made up of cartilage. The cranium and the vertebral column both are entirely made up of cartilage. Okay, and circulation is of closed type. They are, as you know, they are completely marine, but they go to the rivers, they go to fresh water to spawn. Spawn means to reproduce, to lay eggs, after which they die. These animals, these fishes die, and these eggs, when they hatch, when the larva hatches out, they migrate to the oceans, right? Only for spawning they go to the rivers. Clear? Okay. And the examples are petromyzon, that is lampreys, and hagfish. These are common fishes under these examples of Cyclostomata. Okay, now coming to the superclass fishes, which is Pisces. Okay, and the Pisces, you know, they are of two types: cartilaginous fish and bony fish. Now you should know the difference between these two again. Okay, both are streamlined. Okay, and here in chondrichthyes, the endoskeleton completely made up of cartilage, right? And they have bony endoskeleton. They are completely marine. Okay, and they are both marine as well as freshwater. In freshwater also you get so many kinds of fishes, right? Okay, and the main difference is they have mouth on the ventral side. See, a slit like ventral side. On the ventral side you can see the mouth, whereas here the mouth is terminal. Here they have ventral mouth, and here they have terminal. Mouth is at the terminal position, and here they have teeth in the mouth, the teeth, whereas these bony fishes do not have teeth. Okay, and the scales, the body is also covered by scales, but they are very tiny small scales called as placoid scales. These have very small scales on their body which are placoid, right? And these have ctenoid and cycloid scales. Ctenoid and cycloid scales, right? Okay, and here there is no air bladder. These fishes, they don't have air bladder, so they have to come up to the surface of the water to breathe. Now and often they have to come to the surface of the ocean waters to breathe. Okay, whereas these fishes, bony fishes, have air bladder, and this help them to in buoyancy, as well as help them to breathe inside the water. They can stay always inside the water. Okay, they have to always keep swimming, these fishes, these fishes. Okay, but they can stand still in one place, these organisms, these fishes. Okay, see, under the vertebrate classes, the starting from the fishes to the mammals, the fishes, the frogs, and the reptiles all are cold-blooded animals. That is, they are poikilotherms, cold-blooded or poikilotherms. Whereas aves and mammals, only these two categories are warm-blooded. What do you mean by cold-blooded and warm-blooded, children? Cold-blooded organisms are the organisms which changes their internal environment to the external environment, right? Whereas the birds and mammals are warm-blooded, who do not change their internal temperature. They have a constant internal temperature. Okay, whatever is the external temperature, whether it is cold outside or hot outside, they always have the common normal body temperatures. Okay, that is what is called as warm-blooded. Okay, so here they both are, chondrichthyes and osteichthyes both are cold-blooded and organisms. Okay, and the sexes are separate. In both of them it is separate. And one thing is, these are, they give birth to young ones. They are viviparous. Their chondrichthyes are viviparous and these are oviparous. And development is here directly the egg will give rise to the adult fish. Okay, right. And one more thing about this chondrichthyes is that they bear poisonous sting or poison needle or the electric rays. You might have heard electric ray fish. Their sting is so poisonous that to leave human beings also unconscious. അത്രക്ക് poison ആണ്. Okay, right? See, this is the stingray. It has poisonous sting. It has poisonous sting. It has electric ray, which is as if we have got a shock. That much poison it has got. Okay, most of them in this chondrichthyes group, most of them have such a sting or a ray or a thorn, needle or a spine-like structure which is highly poisonous. Okay, now these are the examples. All these are the examples of the osteichthyes group. Clear? So thank you children very much.